individuals known to us, former gang members in Los Angeles, both of whom were deported. It's our belief, based on that same video, that they've joined the foreign fighters in Syria.
Labels are dangerous. They reinforce stereotypes, and they can twist the story in any number of different ways. And that's definitely true of alleged gangsters Narcis Wino Kalajian and Saru Creeper Madarian. The two Syrian nationals, who are of Armenian descent, started their journey in LA and ended up in Syria, where they're apparently working as mercenaries and fighting on behalf of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The key element in the story is a video that surfaced that shows them firing rifles as part of Syria's civil war, although the video never shows their targets, nor do they ever face return fire. It's a fascinating story, so let's trace the journey to get a better idea of what went down. All sorts of organizations, countries, and cultural factors pop up along the way, so keep in mind that you may need a scorecard to keep up with the various players. LA Days. The US part of their journey seems fairly straightforward, albeit with some serious shade thrown here and there that may or may not represent some important misrepresentations. Narcis Kalajian, aka Wino, was deported to Syria by US Immigration and Customs Enforcement in 2012 for his alleged involvement in gang-related activity, according to records supplied by the Glendale Police Department. Saru Madarian, aka Creeper, was reported to be a member of the Sun Valley GW13, a Latino gang. Given the fact that Madarian is actually a Syrian national, his membership in the gang is intriguing, and apparently based on the fact that he sprinkles in some Spanish phrases during the video, in which he also speaks perfect English. According to Tom Lorenzi, the sergeant representing the Glendale Police Department, Madarian is a member of the Grumpy Winos gang, which hails from Sun Valley. Confused yet? Read on, it gets weirder. The video and the Syrian side. As the old saying goes, let's go to the videotape. It was released by the Middle East Media Research Institute, an organization based in Washington, D.C. that studies news accounts and social media posts from that part of the world while also providing translations. The video, which definitely isn't going to get a G rating when it comes to profanity, shows Kalajian and Madarian firing rifles from behind a cinder block wall. It's not exactly clear who they're firing at, although there are references to an unknown force identified as enemigos, i.e. enemies, although the supposed enemy is never shown, nor do they face return fire. So, what's the story there? The working theory being advanced by the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, JTTF, is that they are fighting for al-Assad because the Syrian president has been protecting Armenian minorities in Syria. Most Americans who have gone to Syria to fight in this war have been fighting against al-Assad, according to a representative of the research group, which has been monitoring the roles of both foreign fighters and American mercenaries for years. The video is also sprinkled with some colorful gang-related lingo. Kalajian and Madarian make several references to gangbanging and their homies, although who those might be isn't always clear. To further muddle things, Kalajian also identifies himself as Wino from the West Side Armenian Power Gang, which definitely casts some shade on the Glendale Police ID. According to Bedros Hajian, an LA chaplain who's also an Armenian community activist, Armenian Power began as an immigrant group that was about protecting Armenians, but the California group has subsequently gained a local reputation as a local street gang that's involved in crimes like identity and credit card theft. The video has also been uploaded to Kalajian's Facebook page, where his real name is spelled differently, Narcis Kalajian, and he's ID'd as Wino Ayi Piyakin. If you're interested in verifying the video, it's also been posted to YouTube. The upshot. So, what's it all about? Feel free to hazard a guess. American Armenians bristle at the allegations that the two men are pro-Assad terrorists, claiming that their main interest as a whole is to return peace in a way that assures the safety of Armenians, both in the US and abroad. Meanwhile, the mess in the Middle East keeps getting messier. Hezbollah, ISIS, and Sunni militants are all involved in the fighting in Syria to some degree, and Armenians and other Christians aside from Kalajian and Madarian, of course, feel threatened to varying degrees by these different groups. The FBI and the research group continues to monitor the situation, which seems years, if not generations, from being completely sorted out. If you're laying odds on whether we'll ever learn the complete truth, at the moment they tilt towards slim and none. They can be seen in another video with other Americans in Aleppo, and it would appear Nurses Kalajian Wino was later killed in combat.